Hey, welcome in Huntsville. Another wonderful good morning to you. Thanks for waking up with us. What do you love about Huntsville? What makes this a great place to be?
Everyone here is very genuine and very kind and friendly. You never hesitate to speak up and say hello or good morning or just acknowledge the person walking by.
The thing that I love most about Huntsville, I love the peace that Huntsville brings. I love the peace that it gives me.
I feel accepted and part of the town and like I belong here.
Huntsville is where my lovely wife lived when I met her, so I moved here. So I'm pretty thankful for her.
All right.
We're bucking for you in Huntsville, Texas.
Hello, I'm Billy Cobbin, the Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home.
Hey, it's Kay Boning with Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools.
Good morning, Huntsville.
Good morning.
Hey, I'm Karen.
I'm Toy. And I'm Denise.
And from all of us at Walker County Federal Credit Union, good morning, Huntsville.
Let's do that mic check. Hey,
Here we are.
Yeah.
Test 1, 2.
Hey, yeah. As we open the show here on a beautiful, thankful Thursday, boy, I'm kind of. It's hot this morning, Jason.
Yeah, it's hot. I can tell, man. You've been working hard already.
Yesterday, great day. I thank everybody for coming out to party at the park. Had an awesome turnout. We got to do that again, and so many great things happening here in the community. And we talked about, Jason, about getting out and reaching out, and just to see all the great things that are happening here in Huntsville. And man, right down the street, we need to start utilizing that more.
Well, I'll tell you what, as a pastor, to me, preaching on Sunday morning is great. Preaching in the morning, but I love preaching in the evening, and especially away from the church, because there's so much attitude of freedom in that.
Yeah.
And it's so great to get outside the walls of church and be able to share the Word of God just in the open air. And I always love preaching in the evenings.
Well, it's funny, and like you think of whenever we have special events up here on a Sunday night, we do that periodically. There'll be something going on, and like we had the ordination.
Yeah.
And it's a different feel.
Yep, it is.
And I don't think, to me, maybe there's this nostalgic feeling to it because growing up, when I would go down to visit my uncle in San Antonio, we would go, and they lived in right outside of Helotes, a little town called Pipe Creek. They're on Highway 6, I think it was Bandera Highway that heads into San Antonio. And we would go Sunday morning. It was 45 minutes into San Antonio from there. We would go in the morning to Sunday service. Then we would go back on Sunday night. And there was just something special about that Sunday night. But then we would go on Wednesday night, kind of like our Wednesday Night Live program here, but it was a church service there. And I'm going to tell you something, just like what we're seeing here, as we just wrapped up another semester of Wednesday Night Live, and big shout out to everybody who came over these last many weeks. That was such a wonderful time. But there's something special, especially, I feel like I've grown the most spiritually on Wednesday night. Nothing against the Sunday, obviously, but I feel like there's more intimacy and more of an opportunity for people to dig deeper in their relationship on a Wednesday night.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think it's the time of the day. You're more relaxed. There's certain expectations, I think, in the morning about what worship should be or what worship is. People are a little bit more rigid, but in the evenings, man, it just opens itself up to be more relaxed, to put down any kind of facade and just be yourself. And that's what's great about worshiping in the evenings. And I've just seen that through all different types of opportunities that I've had to preach, like in revivals that I've done. We used to do, back when I was at Dodge, we'd do tent revivals.
Oh, yeah.
And boy, those were some fun times, just being outdoors with God's people, singing and worshiping the Lord and preaching. And that's what we did last night.
Well, and one other thing that I wanted to say on this, Jason, while we're talking about this, there was a church that I was a part of years ago in Georgetown where I grew up. And those Wednesday nights, our pastor would tell us, like, if you, and it wasn't that anything was different, I guess you could say that, but he would always encourage, if you have a guest, bring them on Sundays, but if they really want to get involved, bring them on Wednesday night. And Sunday was more structured. Obviously, the Holy Spirit would work in the way that he works, but Wednesday, it was like we're doing this morning, free flowing. We should move to Friday so we can have a free flow Friday.
Free flow, man.
But I remember Pastor Joe would be preaching, and he would have everything laid out on, and this always happened every Wednesday, and it was incredible to see how the Holy Spirit was moving and how the Lord was working. And I'll never forget, there was a very distinct Wednesday night service that you just felt, it was almost like that Asbury revival at our church. Yeah. And the altar call, he stopped in the middle of preaching, Jason, and he'd never done that before. And he said, and he just closed up his notes and had his Bible in his hand, closed his notes, pushed them to the side, and he said, I got to quit talking about this. And he said, I feel like the Lord's moving us in a different direction tonight. And he goes, in fact, we all just need to be at peace tonight. And he goes, we're going to pray. And it was, and even now, like I get kind of excited thinking about that night.
Yeah.
Because, and everybody was kind of like, what's going on, But we knew right away that he recognized that the Lord was moving in that building, and the Lord's always moved, but that night was a special night.
Right.
And literally the entire congregation came up to the altar.
Wow, awesome.
And Jason, it ended up being 2 hours, and nobody wanted to leave. Normally on a Wednesday, everybody's ready to go. They want to get out of there. They want to get home. They had the youth going on at the other building. Parents didn't care. I mean, nobody cared. Everybody. And after 2 hours, people were looking. I mean, we're approaching 9:30 at night, and people were like, we don't want to leave.
Right.
And that was one of the most intimate services. And that's why Pastor Joe always said, look, if you're going to bring a guest, bring them on Sunday, because Wednesday, some things like that may happen. And I'm not being weird by it. I know you don't think it's a weird thing either, but he was like, something like that for a guest, they'd be like, man, what's going on over here?
Right,
and it's not like people were going crazy and doing weird things.
Exactly what you're saying.
But as a pastor, you see how the Spirit of the Lord works sometimes.
Yeah. No, and we used to, back in the day, you would have Sunday night services and Wednesday, and they would always say, Sunday morning is for the guests. It's a time for you to bring someone new in, to hear the gospel message. Sunday night, Wednesday night, that's for the church. That's for you to grow deeper. And so I can see how something exactly like that would happen. And not only would happen, would be needed in every church.
Well, we are here. Welcome in again on a very thankful Thursday, episode number 516. It was just a few weeks ago that we were at 5. In fact, our 500 balloons that Brad and Sky Carlton blessed us with finally heliumed out. Yeah, they deflated. But the show's inflating.
Yes.
So we are here. Big thank you as always on a thankful Thursday to, of course, Elliot's Jewelers. He's online at elliotsjewelers.com for all of your jewelry needs. Call our good friend Elliot Herzlich. He'll be involved again heavily with our Rays of Hope. That's honestly just a couple of weeks away. You've still got about a week. But really, we'd like in the next few days, by Tuesday of next week, if you'd like to sponsor T-shirts, we still have many opportunities available. I want to thank all of our foundation support and other support from friends like Kevin Dixon at Anthem Technologies. They have stepped up in a huge way. And Kevin said, I want to be a part of this. I want to help out. Great. And so they're helping out for a third consecutive year. We've had Brad and Sky Carlton from Deep Clean, Texas that have came on and said, we want to sponsor the whole thing.
Wow.
And so you can sponsor literally our T-shirts, our, as we would say in Fargo, our swag bags, our swag bags, and also an hourly sponsor. And I think we've made that super affordable for all of that exposure for $650. That'll get you on the shirt. The swag bags are cool, Jason, because as people drive through and donate items, the businesses are allowed to put things into bags, and we're going to hand a thank you bag to anybody that donates. And in the years past, we've had many, many people come through, but we've also had a few bags left over. In fact, I'm looking at the shelf. I see one bag right there. That's it from last year. And we're able to give those away not only during Rays of Hope, but we also give those away here on the show. They're filled full of discounts, all sorts of things. And if I may, a very special shout out to Kat over at Double Dave's Pizza. She always goes above and beyond. We do hourly raffles too. So if you come by and you donate $20 cash or more during, say, 9 to 10, right? Well, you're entered in a 9 a.m. raffle with other people that have came between that time. Elliot's Jewelers is donating jewelry, beautiful jewelry that could be valued up to $300. He's given us 12 pieces of jewelry. So those will be raffled off each hour. But then Kathleen said, can I get involved in that also? I said, yeah, whatever you want to do. And she's giving us, I think it may be 12 passes for buffets. So we're going to include these big gifts for hourly raffles as well.
Rob, let the people know this money that's collected. Where does this go? Rays of Hope. Where does this money go?
All of that is going back to several area nonprofits. One of them that we team up with is our friends at HISD Social Services.
Yes.
Those kids need stuff to do in the summer, and money, as we all know, as you know, you've been involved in the public school system. The kids there need things, and the public schools don't always have the funds to go the extra mile for some things.
So many of our students that are in this area are housing insecure. Is that what they call it? Doesn't mean that they're homeless or living out on the streets, but it does mean that they don't have a home. They're living from couch to couch maybe, and they don't have the necessities a lot of times, hygiene products. They don't have the clothes and shoes and other things, and especially when the summer gets here, because they depend on the school for so much of that. They depend on the school for food, eating at least 2 meals a day, breakfast and lunch they get at the school. And what happens during the summer? I know Good Shepherd Mission does a great job with their green bus going out and helping in these areas to help feed these children that are in more in poverty and need that help. But this is a great resource to give back to our community, and I'm thankful for you, Rob, that you're willing to do it.
Yeah, and that's just one of them, and then also partnering with Care Center Huntsville, we're going to be accepting baby items again, diapers, lotions. 1 year we were joking around, said lotions and potions. Well, no potions, but anything that babies need, especially newborn children up to a couple of years of age, those items. And we're going to have the full list coming up next week on our website. So it's also Care Center Huntsville, as I said, the HISD Social Services. We're also partnered up. We would like to give some cash to Tomorrow's Promise Education Foundation for those free books that kids get from 0 to 5. So a little bit of cash hopefully will be going that way. Also partnering up with Good Shepherd Mission. Great. We've been able to take literally basket after basket of food after Rays of Hope over there to those folks. And so we'll be taking non-perishable food items. And then also this year's Safe House. We're going to partner with the Safe House again as well. So
speaking of the Good Shepherd Mission, I got a chance to, a couple weeks ago, sit down with Monty over there, the new administrator over there that's heading up that, and he's been there over a year now, I think. I just haven't had a chance to get over there. I got over there, I got to see some neat things that they're doing, some great vision things that they're casting. I'm really thankful for that we have the Good Shepherd Mission here in Huntsville, and the work that they do is unbelievable. So great organizations, and definitely need to be to support these, and this is one way that people can.
And Jason, you came out last year, man.
I'm going to be out there this year.
We got you a nice Rays of Hope shirt, brother.
I'm going to be out there. Don't you worry.
So, and we got a new design. Every year it's a new design. So we came up with a new design. And even though she's not with us anymore, she still talks to us at least once a week. She's hanging out with the Gov.
Yeah.
But Michelle she gave me the thumbs up on this year's design.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I miss her.
So it's great. Well, friends, again, a great show going on this morning. Thank you for tuning in here on a Thankful Thursday. As always, a big shout to, like we mentioned, Elliot, but of course here on this Thursday morning, we couldn't do it without the generous support of our foundation support, such as First Baptist Church, a harbor of hope here in this community. And hey, coming up on Sunday, we have a very, very special guest all the way from the West Coast, making his way here to Texas, a person I'm looking forward to becoming friends with, and he's going to immediately become a friend of this church. He's already a friend to many members of this community, not just our church, but Jeremy Stalnecker, the CEO of Mighty Oaks Foundation, is going to be here on Sunday. Jason, I'm looking forward to the message that the Lord is going to provide through Jeremy.
I am too. This guy, I've just read a little bit of his story, a powerful, powerful story. and a powerful ministry that he does to veterans and those that are specifically suffering with PTSD. And it's such an important field. We love our vets, especially in Huntsville. I mean, there is a connection with veterans here in Huntsville. And we want you all to come out on this Memorial Day weekend, this Sunday. I just want to send a special invitation. Church, denomination, whatever affiliation you are, it doesn't matter at all. This Sunday especially, because we're going to just be celebrating our veterans. We're going to hear a message of hope from Jeremy and what Memorial Day is all about. So and centered around Christ, of course, because that's where our hope is found. And this man's a pastor and CEO of Mighty Oaks, and I am so looking forward to hearing from him and what God has done in his life and what God is continuing to do through him.
Amen. And a special treat, we do have Jeremy with us this morning. We're going to take a brief break, and when we come back, he's via satellite. Just kidding. Via the internet. I always wanted to say via satellite, though.
Yeah.
We don't have the big satellite on the roof anymore, do we,
Hopefully
Jason?
there's not a major delay.
But via the internet, we'll bring Jeremy on here in just a few moments. Hey, before we do, we're going to be giving away something this morning. We're not going to be able to call at the end of the show, a little bit of a glitch in our system, but what we will be able to do is text you after the show. And so if you're interested, I'm feeling generous today, $25 cash going to somebody to buy them lunch today. And I'm praying that you have Cash App or Venmo or one of those, because if I got to bring you money, it's going to be difficult. So, but all you got to do, the keyword continues on. Many of you have been texting in all week. The keyword is fun, F-U-N. Text that in along with your name to 936-339-0139. Again, keyword fun, 936-339-0139. We'll be texting a winner a little bit later today. As always, our Thankful Thursday is brought to you by First Baptist Church, a harbor of hope here in Huntsville. Come join us this Sunday and every Sunday. You can find out more information online about how the Lord is moving here at First at FBCHuntsville.org. We'll step aside. We'll take a very brief break. Jeremy Stalnecker joins the program, and we come back. This is your show. It's Good Morning Huntsville here on a very Thankful Thursday. Stay with us, friends.
Hey friends, Rob Hipp, Media and Community Outreach Minister here at First Baptist Church, Huntsville. Let me ask you, when's the last time you felt real hope? Maybe it's been a while since you've been to church, or maybe you've never felt connected to a church at all. Well, friends, that's okay. Here at First Baptist, we're a harbor of hope, and we welcome everyone just as they are. We have programs throughout the week for all ages to come together, ask questions, grow in faith, and find the hope that only Jesus Christ can bring. Whether you're looking for a fresh start or a community to call home, we'd love for you to join us. Come experience something real. For more information, visit fbchuntsville.org. First Baptist Church Huntsville, a harbor of hope.
This harbor of hope, we are safe inside.
Hi, I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. We know times of loss are tough, and you need a place to feel comfortable and cared for. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we pride ourselves on being with you during those really tough days. You can rest assured that we will be on your side and by your side every step of the way. Thank you for your trust. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, supporting families every day, every step.
Hello, First Baptist Huntsville. This is Jeremy Stalnecker with the Mighty Oaks Foundation, and I'm sitting in my home studio today recording some different things for our organization. But I wanted to stop quickly and say hello and tell you how excited I am to be with you on May 25th. That is Sunday of Memorial Day weekend, and we're going to have a wonderful time together. I feel very honored to be able to spend this time with you. As you know, this is an important weekend, a very important holiday, as we remember the sacrifices of the men and women who've gone before us, those who gave their lives, paid the ultimate sacrifice that we could enjoy the freedoms that we do. Very, very important time, and I am excited to be able to spend that time with you. We're going to talk about Memorial Day, what it means, why it's important, and how we can live our lives in light of the sacrifices made by others. Again, very excited to be with you this Memorial Day weekend, Sunday, May 25th.
This is KHSP LP, Huntsville, Texas, the spirit of Huntsville.
This is Jason Bay, the pastor at First Baptist Church, Huntsville, and you're listening to Spirit Radio, the spirit of Huntsville.
Support for spiritradio.fm comes from loyal listeners just like you. Want to help spread the good news across Huntsville and beyond? Underwriting opportunities are available for loyal listeners, businesses, and nonprofits. Visit spiritradio.fm and tap donate today.
Spirit of Huntsville, Spirit of Huntsville, Spirit 94.3.
All right, friends, back at it as we continue on this morning. A thankful Thursday. Thanks for hanging out with us. Waking up this morning, a nice chilly low in the upper 60s, maybe 70 in some spots of town. But, Jason, nice weather today. It's only going to be 93 is the forecasted high. And patchy fog this morning should move out, and we're going to be sunny and 93.
All right.
So
nice day.
And one day we'll be on 94.3. So we're working on that. We do want to welcome you back in. Thanks for hanging out with us this morning. Always a joy and a privilege to be with you every single Thursday morning. And, boy, a really special treat today as we are very thankful to bring on a friend who has been patiently waiting in the background. And we're going to bring him on now. It is our friend, Mr. Jeremy Stalnecker. Jeremy, good to see you this morning, my friend, all the way from the beautiful West Coast, man.
Yeah, good morning. Good to see you guys.
Yeah, great to see you. I'm Rob Hipp here with Jason Bay, and we're excited to have you coming up on Sunday, but I know Jason's got a few questions too, Jeremy, but we want to get to know you a little bit here in a moment. But how are things in your neck of the woods, my friend?
Yeah, things are good. Things are moving forward. I heard your weather. Our weather's perfect, so I can't really relate to it.
Always perfect, huh?
But I appreciate what you guys are struggling out there.
Well, praise God, praise God. Well, I just want to start out by just tell the people a little bit about yourself, Jeremy, if you don't mind. Mighty Oaks.
Sure. I was raised in a Christian home. That's the right place to start, I think. I was raised by great parents, and my dad was actually a pastor, started a church in the small town in California that I was raised in. And I always kind of joke, kind of a half joke, that the one thing you learn growing up in a pastor's home is that you don't want to be a pastor. And so I learned that early on. And I was thankful for my parents, thankful for what God was doing in their lives. But for those that don't know, being a pastor is very, very difficult. Amen. And since then, I've been in combat and I've been a pastor. And man, the combat thing was easier. So I observed that in my family. I told my dad when I was pretty young, I was a teenager, that I really felt like God wanted me to go into the Marine Corps. And he said, son, do what you believe God wants you to do. There's some things we want you to do before you get there. And one of those things was go to college. And so because of that, I was commissioned as a second lieutenant in the Marine Corps. Wow. Served with 1st Battalion, 5th Marines based out of Camp Pendleton in Southern California. And did a number of things. My last deployment was to Iraq in 2003 as part of the initial invasion into Iraq. Went to Baghdad and then made our way home. And, God takes us on his journey if we're following him. And for me, that meant leaving the Marine Corps, which is what I had always wanted to do, and going into ministry, which is the one thing I said I would never do. And went onto a church staff as a church that we had been serving or working with when I was in the Marine Corps. And my family and I had been attending there for some time. Spent 5 years there, ended up pastoring for a number of years up in the San Francisco Bay Area. And in all of that, there's a lot to that story, but in all of that, God introduced me or facilitated me meeting Chad Robichaux, who at that time, former Marine as well, starting the Mighty Oaks Foundation. And God brought us together at the right time. And that was in 2012. Since then, we've been working with Mighty Oaks, working together to minister to veterans, service members, and first responders dealing with trauma, whether it's related to their service or just life. And right. Man, there's a lot to say there as well, but we've had about 7,000 folks come through one of our week-long programs, and we've seen thousands of men and women give their lives to Christ over the course of those almost 15 years.
Well, Jeremy, you've told us a little bit about Mighty Oaks kind of leading into it, and I'd like for you, if you don't mind, just to expand a little bit more, maybe what drew you into the organization, and then really maybe just kind of let us know the scope of services that you guys provide and how you're making such a positive impact on folks that have served.
Yeah, so, it's funny. We all believe that what we're dealing with is the only thing that exists, right? What I'm going through is the only thing that matters. It's the only thing that's important. It's the only thing that's happening. But we also have this belief that no one else knows what it's like to struggle the way we're struggling. And when I came home from Iraq, I left the Marine Corps, went into a full-time ministry position, and my whole world kind of fell apart. Didn't know who I was or what I was trying to accomplish. I lost my purpose, my identity, all of the things that we talk about often with transitioning veterans, and struggled really badly for a long time, and had the right people step into my life, pastor, parent, my wife. And man, as much as I was trying to make a mess of all of those things, almost lost my job at the church, almost lost my marriage, the right people stepped in and helped me get back on my feet, and I moved forward. What I didn't realize, though, was that I was not the only one that struggled that way. It took me about 10 years before I was reconnected with some of the Marines that I had served with, sat down with a handful of those guys and started to hear about their struggles. Also started to hear about suicides of Marines that I had served with, and broken marriages, and all these issues that we talk about. And for the first time in my life, realized that I was not the only one. But more than that, experienced the conviction of knowing I found a way forward by aligning my life to the life God created me to live. And I have a responsibility to help others find that path forward as well. And so that was really, I guess, what turned the light on for me, or the catalyst to getting involved in the work that we're doing with Mighty Oaks. That was the same time I had met Chad, and Mighty Oaks was getting started, and I had that opportunity. And we've been doing that since then. And really, again, I could spend all day talking about this. Come Sunday, I'll talk more about this. But what we do is help men and women who are struggling the way that I struggled. Again, some diagnosed with post-traumatic stress, some have attempted to take their own lives. The gambit of issues that veterans and service members and first responders deal with. We help those men and women to understand that regardless of what they've been through in their lives, where they've come from, what they've experienced, that if we'll align our lives to the lives God created us to live, we can find an identity tied to a God who doesn't change. And when we understand our identity, then we have purpose. And when there's purpose, then there's hope. And if there's hope, we can move forward. Marriages can be restored. Lives can be restored. And man, the change that can take place, and you guys know this, but the change that takes place when a person finally enters into that relationship with God through Christ, it's new life. That's what the Bible calls it. And that is the approach that we take. There's a lot to that, of course, but helping men and women understand how to live the lives that God created them to live.
Wow, that is exciting. I'm excited about you coming, because already you got me fired up. I love that message of hope. That's what we're all about here at First Baptist Church, and there's so many people in this community and around the world, as you know, that need that message of hope. And I was going through your website, and I was talking to Sharon, one of our church members here, about you, and she was telling me just a little bit, and I didn't, about the 22. There's a documentary. You've told us a little bit about your background and how God has shaped you and molded you, and how God has brought you to realize how big an issue PTSD and other things that vets are going through and other people are going through, like you're saying, and that led you to this marathon thing that you're involved in, and they're doing a docu. Tell us a little bit about that. I'm stumbling all over it. You tell it. Tell us.
So I'm not a smart person. I was a Marine, so we just do the best we can. And I heard someone talking about 2 years ago about running 50 marathons in 50 consecutive days. So every day they ran a marathon for 50 days. Wow. And I've been a runner my entire life, and I thought I could never do that, but maybe I could do something less than that. And we were coming on Veterans Day every year through our organization. We try to do something to highlight the struggles that many veterans deal with. And one of the big numbers in the veteran community is 22. And we're told that 22 veterans every single day, it's staggering, but 22 veterans every single day take their lives.
Wow.
We believe the number's higher than that, but that's the number we've been given. And a lot of people have latched onto that. And so as I heard this other guy talking about doing 50 marathons in 50 days, I thought, I wonder if I could do 22 marathons in 22 days and use that as an opportunity, a platform to talk about veteran suicide, talk about these issues, but more than anything, talk about how in spite of those issues, there is hope and there is a solution. And so we need to highlight the issue, but highlight the issue so that we can get to the solution. And decided we would do that. I ended up running 22 marathons in 22 consecutive days. I was in 7 cities and 5 states. And man, it was quite an adventure, as you can imagine, something I will never do again. However, we also had the privilege of developing a documentary around that, and it tells the story of those marathons. But more than anything, it tells the story of veterans across the country who struggle with thoughts of suicide, and many who have taken their lives, and the families that are left behind, and then points to the solution found in a relationship with Christ. And I was very privileged, really honored to be a part of that. And that documentary releases this weekend as well. So a lot of things going on for Mighty Oaks this weekend. And Friday night in Conroe, we're releasing the 22 documentary, and you can find out more information about that on our website. But yeah, we're really praying that will be a tool that will point, folks who are struggling to the place of hope, or family members, friends who have people in their lives that are struggling, to a place where they can find solutions. But one of those things, I'm happy I did it, really proud of it, but never want to do it again. But praying God uses it.
So the release is going to be this weekend, and you can see it in Conroe. Is that what you're saying?
Tomorrow, yeah.
That's right. It's being released in Conroe. All the information, times, location, all that is on our Mighty Oaks website. And would love to have anyone out that wants to see that. And then, so it's releasing on Friday, and then it will be pushed out to streaming services, Amazon Prime and other streaming services. So again, this is one of those things we created as a way really to get this message of hope and redemption out to as many people as possible.
Awesome, man. That is unbelievable.
Well, Jeremy, it's such a good message, and we're so thankful for the Mighty Oaks Foundation. We are here again with Jeremy Stalnecker this morning. We appreciate his generous time, a very busy man, but he was so gracious to give us some time here today to talk about this. Jeremy, I lost my dad last June. In fact, I was thinking about it today and coming up in just a couple of days. And my dad had battles. There was things that he told me. He said, "Son, I'm never going to be able to talk to you." But he did have an outlet. He had an organization in the VFW where he could talk to people and surround himself with other veterans. He lost his life, just unfortunately due to COPD and a few other things. But I wanted to ask you, because everybody has a story. There's something. And maybe highlight in a Cliff's Notes version. I know you'll probably tell us more on Sunday, but give us maybe a Cliff's Notes version on maybe somebody or someone that you can distinctively think of that's been impacted so greatly from the good work of the Mighty Oaks Foundation.
I appreciate that question. And, we do our best to tell stories. We have thousands of stories of men and women who have been helped. One of my favorites is of a retired Marine named Joe. Joe came to our program in Cliff Notes version, right? Joe had attempted to take his life by jumping out of a hotel window. He was 6 floors up. God's providence, he missed the sidewalk next to the building, and the sprinklers around the building were broken in the landscaping. And so the water, or the ground where he landed was wet. It was soft. Again, that was God. Hurt, went to the hospital, broke a lot of bones, had a hard time standing, all those things, but lived through that. His wife reached out to us and said, when he's better, can he come to your program? We've tried everything. He had served about 30 years in the Marine Corps, done some incredible things during that time. And at the end of his career, started drinking and was forced to retire. So in the process of all of that, he had built this life, had lost his identity, had lost his purpose, felt like a failure. And that's why he tried to take his life. He came to a program, and I was there. I remember him at the end of that week, spending a week with us and learning the things that we teach. At the end of that week, he stood up, and he was still trying to regain his ability to walk. And so he was leaning on one of those canes that have kind of the 4 posts at the bottom, right? And leaning on that thing. And he started to tell that story, the long version of what I just told you. And he said, "I did not know that I could do anything outside of the Marine Corps. I thought my life was over. But what I've understood is that when my identity is found in Jesus," and this was new to him, "when my identity is found in Jesus, then there is hope and there is a life in front of me." And he became a guy that would go into bars and chase veterans down in places where they were making bad decisions and pull them out, help them get back on their feet, get them to a program, help them get plugged into a church. and God used him in an incredible way. And that's a very dramatic story, but we have thousands of stories of life change very similar to
That's
that.
unbelievable. I mean, I know that that's the beauty of being a part of the church, and is
Yeah,
seeing
that's right.
the blessing is seeing life change and hearing those life change stories. And I can only imagine the just the ministry that you're in, getting the opportunity of hearing those stories all the time, and those stories connect with people in such major ways. Now, you told us basically the reason that you're coming to Huntsville and the Conroe area is because of the release of your documentary, and you're also going to get the chance to share with us on Sunday morning. We're so looking forward to that. I've been looking forward to this for ever since I knew you were coming, and I just heard the stories from Tom and Sharon, and I'm so looking forward to getting to know you. What I would like for our listeners to hear is maybe a little bit, if someone is going through something, what's kind of the program? How's the program kind of laid out? What does somebody that is going through something, what's the program like? How long is it? What does it involve, and that sort of thing?
Yeah, great. I appreciate that as well. And there are so many people that are struggling. If a person is a veteran, an active duty service member, a first responder, or they're married to one of those, and so we open this up for spouses, they need to go to our website, fill out an application. There's no cost to attend the program, and there's no cost to get to the program. We want to remove every obstacle, and we'll get you to the place where that program is being held. We have facilities in California, in Texas, in Ohio, and in Virginia. And I say facilities, think ranch or conference center, beautiful settings, just kind of get you away from everything. And then during the week, when that person is with us, they filled out the application, we've made the arrangements, we've gotten them to where they need to go. We have men's programs and women's programs. They're each separate, but they come to that location. And then during the course of that week, it's 5 days long. Again, we talk about post-traumatic stress. We talk about trauma. We talk about those issues, what it is, what it isn't. But then throughout the week, we point to biblical principles over the course of 5 days, classes taught by other men or women who have been in a similar situation. They've all attended our program. They came through a process of learning how to teach what they learned. They all come from the military or first responder community, and they teach these biblical principles for moving beyond the traumas, the trials, and the difficulties that have a hold on so many people. And in the process of that, many men and women, about 7 out of 10 who attend our program, make a profession of faith during the week that they're with us. And again, we try to remove every obstacle so that everyone that needs to attend can. And then we are connecting on a kind of a peer-to-peer level. I know where you are because I've been there. I've experienced the same things. I don't have it all figured out, but I'm a little bit further along than you are. That's how that relationship works. And so it's a great welcoming relationship where we're talking to people like us, but we're pointing to the solution, and the solution is found in that relationship with God, understanding He is the creator. He creates us with purpose. There is design. And if God is the creator, there is purpose and there is design.
Amen.
And there is hope. And man, we've given that message thousands and thousands of times, and God continues
Hallelujah.
to bless it.
That's so good. Hey, you said that this doesn't cost anything for the participants, for those that are hurting, for those that are lost, for those that need that message of hope. There is no cost for those people to be a part of this program, that y'all provide everything to the people so that there's no obstacles for them to come and be a part of that. What a great mission and ministry. But I know it's not free. So how can people that are out there in our community that want to help and want to support something like this? This isn't just a program of hey, we want to give you 3 steps on how you can overcome this. We want to give you biblical truth on how to overcome this. And there's a lot of people in our community that are not only veterans, but are Christians and believe that same message of hope. Tell somebody that I'm sure that all the money that you guys collect is tax deductible, correct? Your 501c3.
Yep.
So how can they help if they want to help today?
Another great question, which I do appreciate. It does not cost anything for a participant to attend, but it's very expensive to have participants attend. And we're thankful for the work of raising those funds, but we're able to do what we do because of families, men and women, individuals, communities getting behind the work that we do financially. Very easy to support financially. Go to our website, same place you find the application for those that need to attend a program or would like to attend a program. There's a place to donate. And on that donate page, it's very easy to donate there. And it costs about $3,500 per person to attend the program. And we this year will have close to 1,000 folks attend the program. And then there are other things that we do. But yeah, it's not inexpensive. But beyond the 5 days, there's a long aftercare process. We walk out with the student who's graduated from our program for the rest of their lives if they need us to help them get the resources, get connected to counseling, and whatever they need to continue to move forward. We facilitate that. So it does take a lot of money, and a lot of folks come alongside and make that possible. And again, all that can be done through our website.
Well, Jeremy, man, we so appreciate you and the work.
Amen. What a great ministry.
Such a privilege, and I always love everybody has a story. Jason last year had a series on Everyone Has a Story. Everybody has something, and I love how I hate that you've had to face adversity, but you've taken that and you've said, you know what, I'm going to use this to help other people. Amen. My friend, you are such a blessing. And we so appreciate your time today. We want to encourage our viewers. We got it up on the screen. Go to Mighty Oaks Programs, mightyoaksprograms.org. I need to get glasses, Jeremy. I'm at that age now where I'm squinting.
Don't we all?
mightyoaksprograms.org. And we can't wait to see you on Sunday also.
On Sunday, hey, I want to just say again, all the people out there listening, I know we have a very patriotic community. Come on out and hear this man's message of hope on Sunday, 10:45 Sunday morning. We're going to have Jeremy, and he's going to share the message of hope with our people and with our community. So come, let's pack this place.
Yeah. And Jeremy, it's one of the times where we always say, hey, if you got a home church, stay plugged in. But many other churches have early services. So go to your church, go to your early service, and then come to 10:45 to listen to Jeremy. So we appreciate you, brother.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it and look forward to being with you all.
All right. God bless, brother. Keep it up, the good work.
Sure. Thank you.
All right. Well, there he was, Jeremy Stalnecker, the CEO of the Mighty Oaks Foundation. So thankful, how the Lord provides people in our lives, and you never know what's going to happen. We always talk about this, Jason, and here's another example, through a wonderful family and folks here that said, hey, let's make these connections. And then you fast forward, and then here it is. And on Sunday, we're going to be able to hear that message. And so many, and veterans especially, but so many people, anyone that comes is going to be blessed by the message that he's going to deliver.
And we have so many firefighters, police officers, retired firefighters, retired police officers, first responders. Like you said, I mean, this ministry is not just for one particular group. It's for anybody that's gone through that. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm so glad that we made the connection. I'm so glad that I get to sit in the pew and hear a message of hope. It's going to be something that we're all definitely looking forward to. And I'm looking forward to this church being packed full of people ready to hear.
It's the second week in a row you get to be in the pew, my
I
friend.
know. I got to hear Don Jackson last Sunday, and this Sunday, Jeremy Stalnecker. So I'm looking forward to it.
This is great. I can see the joy. See, friends, this is what we need once a month.
Yeah.
Give what do you call it, respite? Is that what it gives Jason a little respite?
It's a ministry to me. I get to hear the word, not just preach the word. So it's good to hear the word.
Love it. Well, we're going to take one brief break, and because we're going to wrap things up, we won't have an extended show today. We got a lot happening here on this Thankful Thursday, so we're going to take a very brief break, and when we come back, we will wrap it up. Maybe no really news you can use, but just a couple of brief things. Something that I'm a fan of, and it all started back in the day with Windows 3.1.
Oh, yeah. I know where you're going.
Wait, I lied to you. It started with the original Mac 128, the black and white Mac. I had it on the Mac.
It may have started with a deck of cards, Rob.
There's your hint. Hey, real final opportunity, by the way, too. Text in the keyword this morning. It is fun on the Your Name Here phone and text line. That could be your name.
That's your name.
Text in your name along with fun to 936-339-0139. We'll take a very brief break. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us as we wrap it up. It's your show. This is Good Morning Huntsville on a Thankful Thursday, brought to you by First Baptist Church, a harbor of hope online at fbchuntsville.org. Stay with us.
The church should be transformational. And maybe you've never been to church, or maybe life has left you feeling lost, but Jesus said, I will give you rest. At First Baptist Church, Huntsville, a harbor of hope, we're not trying to fit in with the world. We're here to help you step into something greater, a fresh start, a new life in Christ. Join us this Sunday at 10:45 and see what God can do in your life. Visit fbchuntsville.org. Hope is here, and we're saving a seat just for you.
Loving Jesus, loving people side by side. In this harbor of hope, we are safe inside.
Hi, I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. We know times of loss are tough, and you need a place to feel comfortable and cared for. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we pride ourselves on being with you during those really tough days. You can rest assured that we will be on your side and by your side every step of the way. Thank you for your trust. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, supporting families every day, every step.
Illuminate your child's future at Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools in Huntsville. Established in 1997 by Kay Boning, our award-winning center merges Christian values with 25 years of Montessori excellence, promoting wonder and discovery in every child. As the only Montessori school within 45 miles, we provide a fun and friendly environment, individualized Montessori methods, and love and care as if each child were our own. Safety is a priority, and with a recent $50,000 investment, our facilities inspire growth, creativity, and learning. Plus, as a nonprofit, we open Montessori doors to families of all economic backgrounds. Partner with the community pillar where every child's promise shines bright. Discover Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools today. Visit tpms.life. That's tpms.life.
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union. One of the best things I hear from our members is how they love being treated like they're important, like their family. Sure, our members love things like low rates on loans too, but combine that with the friendliest and most helpful service in town, and you've got Walker County Federal, taking care of our members. It's what we do. We are Walker County Federal Credit Union, member NCUA.
Just in the spirit of it, Jason.
News you can use, yes.
It's not news.
Hey, I got news.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Well, I mean, I can tell you something.
This is another episode from 1229J, the studio, the Hour of Power from the Brick Cathedral and Wood Cathedral in Huntsville, Texas. This is news you can use.
It gets more elaborate every week. But I think you should start us off with the news you can use, because you have some news that we all could use, because you gave us the tease before the break.
It is something today. It is, and I don't know where people have ever got this pronunciation because it's completely off.
Yeah,
it's I'll say it the right way. It's National Solitaire Day. Now, somebody said solitary, and I started thinking of prison.
It's
National Solitaire Day.
National
First time I ever played it wasn't cards for me. It was on it wasn't, and it was not on the Macintosh. It was on the old Windows. No, it was a DOS computer. It was an old DOS computer that my sister had, and I think and it did, and it had Windows 3.11 for work groups on it. That's important because you could network that computer. We didn't have it networked. But that was the computer, and then I remember going to my uncle's and playing it, and finally, after so long, I learned how to play the game, and then it took me another 5 years to learn Free Cell.
Yeah. So I wonder how many people out there have spent so many hours playing that game.
Solitary.
Solitary. How many people have spent hours playing that game on the computer, especially back in the day when that was the only thing that you could get. You clicked on there, and how many people have walked by somebody in the office, and over here in one little window is that game going kind of in the background,
hiding in the corner, and they're like scrunched over the side of their monitor.
How many have either witnessed that or got caught with that? But I remember when you brought this up because it was nostalgic for me because my dad loved to play that game. And he played it with just the old deck
Physical
of cards.
cards.
Yeah,
Wow.
he would play it, and when he retired from or lost his job, and when the oil business went under, and he moved up here, and he went to work for the IT department at TDC. We owned a little farm out here, and he would grow vegetables and all different kind of things, and he would go in. We had a little he had a little office out there. It was like a mobile home, not a mobile home, but like an office building that was out there. And when he wasn't on the tractor plowing or picking or whatever he was doing, he was in that room. And if you walked in that room, he's going to be in there with a deck of cards playing solitaire. So it brought back good memories. And today is the National Solitaire Day, so get you a deck of cards or turn it on and play it.
Or in the words of Toby Keith, turn it up some.
Yeah.
Some.
Well, I want to just give one story here.
Please, yes.
Okay, so this comes from National Geographic. I thought this was very interesting.
Hold on, it came from National Geographic. Hold on, I don't have the theme song, but I'll hum it for you.
Okay.
There
you go. There you go.
All right, here it is.
When you think of Australia, what do you think of? Animals.
Good eye, mate. Oh, I think of the kangaroo.
Okay, the kangaroo. But do you know that there's another, this is a major article in the National Geographic about another animal that's causing a great deal of harm in Australia right now. And it's the camel.
Camel?
Yeah, the camel. And they're feral camels running around the outback in Australia, and they're causing all kind of difficulty because they were imported from the Middle East and Asia in the 19th century, and they thrive in the outback because of its dryness and arid conditions, but they're raising havoc all across there because they're tearing up ranch property, and so they don't really know what to do with all these camels. So if you want to go on a camel hunt, maybe you could go out to Australia. They'd probably welcome you to try to get rid of some of these feral camel population, it says. Females can give birth every 2 years and live up to 40 years in the wild, meaning the number of camels can double every 9 years. So it says weighing an average of 1,000 pounds, they roam in herds from fewer than 10 to several hundred, trampling ecosystems and destroying infrastructure. So Australia has a major problem in the outback, and it's the big camel conundrum.
I'm just sitting here thinking as you're doing that, the didgeridoo. You know what I'm talking about? That.
Yeah.
My cousin used to play that thing.
When you think of Australia, a lot of things come to mind, but camels probably pretty far down on the list. Man. But it sounds like it's a growing problem.
Well, Jason, been a fun morning. Appreciate all of you. I know you and I, we usually go almost 2 hours. We're going to keep it an hour today, though. We got a lot cranking here on this Thursday, and I've got to get to Hutto tonight, or as some people say, Hutto. I'm producing a Hutto ISD graduation.
And my mother, third grade teacher at Richards Elementary, she's 80 years old, still teaching strong, loves those kids. They're her kids. And every year, at the end of the school, she always brings them out to her house for a picnic and lets them fly kites and run around. We play kickball. So I always take off and go out there and help her cook the hot dogs and whatnot and be with her kids. And this year, my daughter, Hannah, she's in third grade, and so she's in Mom's class. So I'm headed out there to be with her today.
Are they still in school? Is it the last day? When is it?
No, they have this week, and then they have all of next week.
So they may be listening on the way this morning. Or is it already too late?
It's probably too late now.
Almost 8:30.
Yeah, but they do listen every morning on the way to school from 7:30 to 8. They get there, and but today they're going to be headed out to the house. And I'm going to meet them out there, and we're going to have a great day in this beautiful weather.
Yeah, and it's 93 degrees. One final thing, when you said hot dog, I thought of Nolan Ryan.
Yeah.
And his American Standard heating and air commercial. Have you ever heard these? Yeah. And it's that poor guy. He's great, one of the greats in the baseball world on the pitching mound. But in the commercial world, buddy,
he's lacking.
It's lacking because. Poor guy, he sounds like he just got out of that fight.
Yeah, no kidding.
And his phrase, my favorite phrase, Billy Cawthon and I have been joking about this, hamburger or hot dog? So every time I hear that, I think, hi, I'm Nolan Ryan. No, he's a good guy, though. I had a chance to meet him and his wife. They're very wonderful people.
The older he gets, the more, the more slurred his speech gets.
So let me ask you real quick. Hamburger, Jason, or a hot dog?
I'll take the hamburger. I don't know what's in that hot dog.
All right. Well, hey, it's been fun. Can't wait to wrap up the week with you tomorrow. I'm hoping you know what? I just thought about this. I don't think Billy is going to be able to make it tomorrow. We talked on yesterday, and I don't think that he's going to be able to make it. And so we will see. We may or may not have a show tomorrow. I did talk to Billy, and he's got some things going on, and I'm not going to get back into town probably until about 3 in the morning.
Oh, wow.
So if we don't, maybe I'll hop on for a minute and just say hello to you and have a great day. And
replay this. Replay the Jeremy Stalnecker interview.
We may do that.
Yeah, that'll be great.
Twice as nice. So come on Sunday. Be a part of it. We'd love to see you 10:45 here at First Baptist Church. Everyone is welcome. Doesn't matter where you go or where you've been. We've all been somewhere. We've all did something. But you know what? Like you've always said, Jason, the Lord has given me another chance.
Amen.
And another chance. And another chance.
Praise
Come and
God.
be part of it. So
that's right.
Well, it's been fun. Hey, we love you, Huntsville. As I end every show, reminding you we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We need each other. So please provide a word of encouragement. Lend a hand of support. I guarantee somebody out there this morning needs you. Until then, good morning, Huntsville, and God bless. We'll see you hopefully back tomorrow. If not, have a wonderful and a blessed weekend. So long, good morning, and God bless. We'll see you, Jason.
All right, God bless.